good to be with you this morning, like I said. And we have been focusing on nutrition.
Mhm.
And nutrition is so important for us to really get a good handle on because it's the foundation of health and for us to do well. And we started speaking about the fact that when you're looking at your foods, you want to understand how they're grouped. And so food is broken up into macronutrients and micronutrients. The macronutrients, we spend about 2 weeks covering those. Those were carbs,
Mhm.
proteins, and fat. So we really broke those down and delved into it. And now we're going to the micronutrients. Now, micronutrients are your vitamins and your minerals, those two categories. And they're micro because not because they're not important, they're extremely important. But what happens is when you look at all the food you eat in one day, the proportion of vitamins is so small that it's called
Mhm.
micro. So if you were to eat, let's say, 3 pounds of food a day, the vitamins would weigh like less than a fraction of an ounce. That's how little amount you need to function well. Vitamins regulate body functions that are important for growth, reproduction, and they regulate almost every metabolic process in the body. They are crucial. They are not produced by your body, so you have to eat them. And if one vitamin is deficient or lacking in a process, the others can't fill in. The process will just not be done right. So it's very crucial. Vitamins are made by plants, only plants make them. And so humans get their vitamins by eating plants. But you can also get vitamins from eating animals because the animals eat the plants that make the vitamins and then put it into their tissues, into their muscles. And so you do get vitamins from eating meat, but that's not the best source of getting vitamins. Plants, the original source, are the best for getting your vitamins. Now, when it comes to vitamins, they are broken down into two groups. You have fat soluble and water soluble. Your fat soluble vitamins are your vitamins A, vitamin D, E, and vitamin K. Your water soluble vitamins are your B and your C. Fat soluble vitamins are not soluble in water, they're soluble in fat only. And because of that, they can be stored in the body. They're not excreted. You don't pee these out. When you eat these, they get stored, usually in the liver. Because they are fat soluble and not water soluble, they're not broken down easily by cooking. And when you're deficient in these things, it takes a long time for any symptoms to occur because the storage in the body lasts months, if not years sometimes. Water soluble vitamins, however, are not soluble in fat, only in water. So soluble means, they can mix well, dilute, become a part of the environment. And because they are water soluble, they are not stored in the body. You need a fresh supply of them every day. They're easily destroyed by heat, which means when you're cooking vegetables and you're trying to get your water soluble vitamins, you can't expose them to heat for a long time because you will destroy those vitamins. You can't overcook your vegetables. They don't taste right and you don't even get the nourishment. So you should never expose vegetables to heat for a long time. Um, when you take a lot, or if you take a lot of these vitamins, you usually pee them out. So people usually say, oh, don't worry, take as much as you want. But the exception is if you take too much vitamin C, you can become ill with diarrhea, nausea, and you can get kidney stones. So if you're somebody who's popping lots of vitamins and you're getting lots of kidney stones, you may want to look into that. Could I be taking too much vitamin C? Because vitamin C gets converted to oxalic acid, which can lead to kidney stones. Also, if you take too much vitamin B, you can get abnormal function of the nervous system. So don't feel that you can just take as much as you want. You don't really want to overdose on the water-soluble vitamins either. Deficiency of these develops quickly. Usually you can tell there's a problem because they're not stored in the body. So you'll see some abnormal symptoms quickly with deficiency. Now, I want to talk about vitamin A. Vitamin A is a fat soluble, remember, fat soluble vitamin. It's A, D, E, and K. And I want to talk about the vitamins because many times we focus a lot on the macronutrients where we need to really stress the micro, because when these micronutrients are deficient, we don't get full vitality. We don't get proper functioning of the body apparatus. So we need to really understand our vitamins. Vitamin A is also called retinol. And unfortunately, this deficiency is a huge issue in more than half of the countries in the world, especially Africa and Southeast Asia. Young children and pregnant women in low income countries are really hit hard by vitamin D deficiency. It's the leading cause of blindness in children, and it increases the risk of disease and death and severe infection. In pregnant women, vitamin A deficiency also causes night blindness and can increase their their risk of dying while they're pregnant. So it's not much of an issue in westernized civilizations or westernized countries, but it's certainly a big problem in many low-income countries. There are two forms of vitamin A. There is retinol and carotene. In animals is where you find the retinol form of vitamin A. This is the active form. In plants, you find carotene. That's the inactive form, or it's called provitamin A, or it's the precursor to vitamin A. It gets turned into vitamin A, the active form, in your body when you eat it. Carotene gives like a yellowish pigment, and that's what makes the foods nice and brightly yellow and orange. Um, and it's stored in the liver for months at a time. Now let's look at what you need vitamin A for and what a deficiency could look like. A lot of people always say, I wonder if I'm deficient in certain vitamins, and they never really know what to look for. So vitamin A is important to be able to see in dim light, like when it's dusk or dawn and it's not so bright and you can actually see well, it helps with that. If you are deficient, you will have poor night vision, and you could have poor vision in general. It helps with normal, healthy, beautiful skin. If you have dry, scaly skin, that could be linked to some vitamin deficiency, probably even vitamin A deficiency. It's important for keeping the mucous membranes moist. It helps with mucus production, not in a way because you're sick, but you need to have moist mucous membranes, because when it's moist, viruses can't pass through as easily. If you have dry mucous membranes, viruses can get through faster. So vitamin A helps to keep the mucous linings in the nares, in the nose, in the urinary tract area, keep them nice and moist. If you're deficient in vitamin A, you have a higher rate of respiratory illnesses. Colds and flus happen much easier. So in this COVID pandemic, vitamin A is a good one to have in your daily food intake. It can also help with proper taste and smell. So if you don't have enough of this vitamin, you can have abnormal taste and abnormal smell. Now, we said before that fat soluble vitamins are stored in the body, and so you can have too much and get toxicity. Usually if you're taking more than 50,000 international units daily, that can lead to toxicity. And how would that look? Well, you might end up with nausea, diarrhea, headache, dizziness, bone pain, amongst other things. It only occurs, however, with the retinol form, not the carotene form. So what does that mean? I had said earlier that the retinol form is the kind that you get in your meats, in animal products, or um, you can also get that in vitamins that you could take in pills. So if you take too much of those, you can easily become toxic. But the carotene form, you will not become toxic. You can have as many carrots as you want, you can have as much carrot juice as you want, and you will not develop toxicity because the carotene will be converted to vitamin A active form as you need it. The rest will not be converted. So if you do have too many carrots, you will turn yellow though. Like your skin will actually develop a yellow orange pigment. Your sclera, your skin, you'll look yellow, but it's temporary. Once you back off on the carrots, you won't be yellow anymore. So I wouldn't worry about that one. All
If I
right.
see yellow folks walking around, now I know why.
Yes, yes. Now you know what's going on. But where can you find your vitamin A? Well, in your deep yellow vegetables, your carrots. Those are the popular ones for vitamin A. Pumpkins, those are nice and orange. A lot of vitamin A there. And your sweet potatoes. I love sweet potatoes. Also, your dark green vegetables have carotene, but their chlorophyll is so strong that it kind of covers up that yellow orange pigment. But your dark greens also have ample amount of vitamin A, the carotene in there. So your broccoli, your spinach, lots of vitamin A. And your yellow fruits, like your peaches. Peaches are going to be coming around late summer, early fall. Your apricots, your cantaloupes that are going to be coming out this summer, your mangoes, which are already here, mangoes are already in season. And so those fruits are high in vitamin A. And I would not be ginger with them. Sometimes it makes me so sad when I hear folks say, oh, I can only eat, one mango because I'm going to gain weight. And so, those kinds of misconceptions, they're very sad because fruits are an excellent source of nourishment and vitamins. And the amount of calories in there is negligible when you compare calories in your processed foods, in your bagels, in your muffins. You had two muffins for breakfast, but yeah, you don't want to have more than one mango. Really, we need to evaluate the foods that are worth eating more of and those that we need to get rid of.
But isn't the issue with fruits more the glucose or sugar, though?
Yes, yes. So fruits are a nice package of candy. They're God's candy. And so the issue certainly is glucose. But when you are concerned about glucose levels, let's say if you are a diabetic, um, when glucose is bound up with fiber, the glucose is released at a slower rate. So you don't tend to have spikes and then falls as you would with, say, having a piece of hard candy that has no fiber in there. When a diabetic gets low blood sugar, you give them a piece of hard candy because the blood sugar shoots up immediately. But when you have fiber in your foods, you don't have that issue. And if you're concerned about weight, with the sugar, if you have a diet primarily of fruits, vegetables, grains, and a little bit of nuts, not a lot, and you remove processed foods, you will not have anything to worry about when it comes to weight gain because you're removing those foods that make you pack on the pounds that are high in fat and that are less in fiber. So please don't be afraid to eat your fruits and your vegetables, especially your dark yellow vegetables. So what's the dosage of vitamin A that you need? If you eat a good variety,
Oh, well, you can tell just by me unmuting that I have a
yes,
question.
yes, 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 yes. That's a
Yeah,
good
that's what
cue.
happened. That's what happened when you've been broadcasting too long and teaching me all my secrets. But
Yes,
I
yes.
just just question just popped in my mind because years ago, I used to love to eat bananas. I love bananas, and honestly, I'd eat 3 or 4 a day.
Yeah.
And at some point, I went to a natural doctor, and he said,
Yes.
"Well, ease up on those bananas because you are pre-diabetic, and I have a
Yes.
feeling it'll probably make you a diabetic."
Yeah.
That's what he said about that. So,
Mm.
I mean, since then, I very rarely eat ripe bananas. I
Oh
mean, I guess
no.
maybe I could have gone, but I very rarely ever eat it. I mean,
Mm.
I don't know. Is that a good idea, bad idea, or should I just, if I'm hearing you, I should be enjoying my bananas anyhow?
Okay, so that's a great point that you raised, and that really makes me so sad because what you have said is a common theme that I hear from other individuals. Now, certainly, if somebody continues to have a lot of fat in their diet, and I keep hammering this point home because I want us to see the real culprit in this crime. It is not your fruits. It is not your unprocessed carbs. It's not your yam. They are not giving you diabetes. It's the fat in our diet. It's the fat. So the fat, you find it primarily in your meats, in your oils, and when you have too many nuts. Nuts are packed with fat. So when you eliminate those things, bring them down significantly, and the fat is no longer there to block up the receptors where the insulin needs to bind to and open the door to let that sugar in, you can handle sugar in your fruits without any problem once you remove the fat. So if you keep the fat in, you keep eating the meat, the butter, the cheese. I'm not saying just you. I mean, you don't, I know you don't eat cheese and butter, but others who are listening, they leave in the meat, the cheese, the butter, the oil, lots of nuts, and they pile on the fruits. Their blood sugar is going to go up because they cannot process it well. The fat is clogging up the door, the door keyhole where the insulin needs to go in. But if you remove those things, which you need to do because they have other problems anyway, then you can enjoy your 3 bananas a day, your 2 mangoes, and the benefits of that is that you're getting not only the glucose and the yummy sugar, but you're getting so many other things, the phytochemicals, the antioxidants. And we'll talk about those words later. Because as you see, I'm going through nutrition step by step so you can understand food for yourself. So I'm not rushing through this. So when you get those other foods, you have the phytochemicals, the antioxidants, the potassium in your bananas, the all of the niacin, all of the other vitamins you need to be healthy, to fight cancer, to fight autoimmune conditions. So it's better for you to give up the fat and put in the fruits. That's a much better way to go. So, Pastor, if you are able to figure out where is that fat hiding in your diet, because a lot of times it is hidden fat,
Mm-hmm.
find where the fat is hiding. And if you can just, and you may not be pre-diabetic anymore, maybe if you check
Oh
your
yeah,
hemoglobin A1C, it's probably fine now. I don't know. Do you know your
yeah,
hemoglobin A1C?
yeah. Well, actually, I'm not, but he still
Okay.
think it's too close anyhow to me being pre-diabetic. But I'm no longer pre-diabetic.
Oh,
But I guess
yes.
the challenge I have is because whenever I've encountered things such as that, I'm already on pretty much a vegan diet. So if I'm on a
Yes.
vegan diet and you tell me, well, you might want to ease up on your bananas, I'm kind of stuck. I don't know what to eat because
Yeah.
because I'm already on a vegan diet, and for me,
Yes.
so if you eat on fruits, it's a challenge. But
Yes. Yes.
yeah, but
Yes. Yes.
one weakness in my case is I just eat too much nuts. I'll just eat nuts all the time,
I know.
24/7.
I know. I know.
So I know
Nuts
what the
are great.
culprit is.
Yeah, nuts are great. So I would say, buy your bananas, eat your 2 bananas a day, enjoy them. And if you're finding and if you're finding that you're having issues with your blood sugar, your hemoglobin A1C is beginning to rise, then you may have to say to yourself, okay, what is the real culprit here? Maybe I need to be careful of those nuts. Maybe I need to back off on the avocado. Maybe, I need to tell Opal not to put any
Mhm.
oil when she's cooking things at home, because that's where the problem lies. And you want to always address um, the problem, find the source of the problem that's going on. So you're not the only
Awesome.
one with that, and that's why I love your questions, because it's like you speak for the masses. You know what people are
I feel their
thinking.
pain.
You feel their pain. I bring all of this information, but I may not be able to fully ascertain what are the real questions, and you bring that to the table. So thank you. Thank you.
As you continue, I'll see if anybody online has any questions. I've been so engrossed and paying attention, I haven't been watching the online audience.
Sure, sure. So, so the dosage that you need is about 5,000 international units a day, and that's the dosage they give for older children. Men need a little bit more than women, and if a woman is pregnant or breastfeeding, she needs even more, about 5,000, 6,000 international units. Babies certainly need vitamin A, but that's found in breast milk. So please, moms, when you're planning to have your babies and you're gonna figure out how to feed them, please always put a strong consideration on breastfeeding. Breast milk has the vitamin A your baby needs to develop nice, healthy bones, good vision, and you don't want you know, you want to try, if you really can, you want to try to breastfeed your baby for as long as possible. Now, I want to talk about practical ways. I know our time is almost done. We have about 3 minutes, but in just a minute or two, practical ways to get these foods into our bodies. One thing I found in my own home is I want my kids to eat a lot of carrots, a lot of vegetables. So I try to keep raw vegetables easily available in the refrigerator at a level that they can reach easily. So let's say I get the carrots that are the smaller kind that they can take out of the fridge. It's not high up where they can't get to. It's always at eye level or right below. They can pull it out, pour some in a plate, and I always have a healthy dip. They can put it in like hummus or guacamole. They can dip it in and eat their carrots. Carrots are a great snack for kids because they're crunchy. Kids love that crunch, and sometimes they're even sweet. So that's a practical way to get it in. Keep raw vegetables in the home, pre-cut. Put them on the counter sometimes so that when folks want something to bite before dinner, they can bite on some raw vegetables and not on chips or cookies or crackers. Okay. And I think, I mean, in terms of other practical ways to get these foods in, yeah, have them available in the house and have them at readily visible. So get away with the shelf of chips. Some homes have a shelf that has all the chips and the cookies. Just eliminate that shelf and have a nice counter of raw vegetables and fruits. And that's a great way for us to get healthier as individuals, as families, and be on our way to the health that we desire and that we deserve.
Thank you very much, Doc. And we want to thank those of you who have joined us this morning. Hope that you were blessed. This is The Preacher and the Doctor. We'll see you on Wednesday. All right.
All right. Thank you so much, Pastor. Have a great day.
You too.